Have you ever stopped to consider the relationships within your own family? Oftentimes, the most toxic, narcissistic people in your life are people you call family. Your own brothers, your sisters, people who you have not chosen to be in your life, rather people who you have always believed you've had to have in your life. This creates some problems, and it could actually become very dangerous. Let's talk about this. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. This message today is brought to you by Angel's Envy, not because they're sponsoring, but because it's absolutely delicious. This happens to be the finished rye whiskey finished in Caribbean rum casks. Oh, so delicious. Before I do continue, I want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box right below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. Kind of gets you going down. I take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. In addition to one-on-one appointments, I also have a private membership where you get daily support not only by me, but a growing community of people from all over the world. Listen, all the resources you need are down below in the description box right below this video, so expand that description box down below. Check out the resources that are available for you on your healing journey. And by the way, what would a nice glass of whiskey be without being paired with a great cigar? That's right. Oliva, one of my favorites. Now then, as a child, you have no choice in your siblings. You are born into the situation. You're conceived into a relationship dynamic, into a family dynamic. And now, let me start off by saying this. Your parents, although they conceived you into the situation, they did not make you. So right off the bat, it's safe to say that you're nothing like your parents. You're nothing like your brothers. You're nothing like your sisters. After all, your parents didn't make you. I've said this many times. Parents don't make children. Debate me on this. Parents conceive children. That's different. How do we know? Well, first of all, if you ever get broken, can your parents fix you? No. Hello? What person can make something but then not be able to fix it if it gets broken? You could take the most complex timepiece or watch created by a skillful watchmaker. And if that watch gets broken or smashed or that timepiece gets crushed, that skilled watchmaker can do what? That's right, put the damn thing back together again. Can your parents do that with you? Did they make you? The answer is no. They conceived you. Something else made you. And whatever made you in the womb of your mother, whatever made you has imparted in you, has left inside of you a difference. Something different from your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters. You are an individual first. But most narcissistic family dynamics will not talk about this. They will not even honor this. In fact, narcissistic families, narcissistic moms, dads, brothers, and sisters hate the idea that you are not made to be just like them. They hate the idea that something higher, something more powerful has created you. They hate the idea that you can be different. And in a lot of family dynamics, this is why they hate you. They hate you because you're different than them. They hate you because you don't just fall in line with what they want. Now, that's just on the side note here. What I really want to talk about is in this family dynamic that you're born in, these family dynamics that are narcissistic and toxic operate off of a hierarchy. Parents rule the roost. It's their kingdom. And this opens up the doorway for narcissistic siblings to accept this reality that there is this control, there's this governing authority, that nobody can go anywhere, that you all belong together, that you are all this family or a gang or whatever. This opens up the door for them to start to fight and clamor for a position within the family. This opens up for the most narcissistic people, who are the cruelest, the meanest, the most conniving, the liars, the gaslighters, those ones, to be able to force their way into a position above you. Oftentimes they do it by lying about you, cheating, stealing, threatening, fighting you in order to get you to submit. You see, it's interesting. I've discovered that most narcissistic personalities, they love the concept of authority, even if it's not completely their own. Take, for example, a lot of your narcissistic bosses at work, your coworkers or your supervisors. Do they really own the company? No. They're under authority, but they love the reality that there is this authority which allows them to hold it over you as an employee so that they can find a position to squash you down, so they can find their piece of control over you in an environment that supports this control. Your toxic narcissistic siblings, brothers and sisters, operate the same way. Even though they're not the parents, even though they're not absolutely in control, they love the reality that you can't go anywhere, and so they will use that against you so that they can be in this position of power over you. But here is the truth and the reality. As you grow, you gain the ability to make a choice. But the choice is based off of, do you even really get along with your siblings? Are you like-minded? What do you have in common with them? You see, when you were a child, you didn't have the opportunity to really even think about this or to consider this as a possibility, but it becomes increasingly important as you become older and as you grow into an adult. Why? Because the purpose of relationships in your life is not to be forced to be with people that you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going. That's oppression, by the way. That's slavery. Many people, myself included, operated in this life out of slavery to one's own family, people you have nothing in common with, toxic siblings and brothers and sisters. This is where it gets dangerous, because these people, by the way, in your life, who you call family, who you call siblings, as we discussed earlier, do they want what's best for you? No. They want what's best for them. They want for you to fall in line with them. But there's a big problem in that even. Are they going to pave your way in this life? Are they going to pay your bills in this life? Are they going to find true love for you in this life? The answer is no. They can't. Why? Because you're an individual. They know nothing about you and what you need. And by the way, a lot of families that are toxic will say that they know what you need. But that's a lie. Once again, they didn't make you. If they say they know what you need, it's them saying they know what they need. It's them trying to paint you a certain way for them. So as you grow, it becomes increasingly important that you start to become more in tune with yourself. And then from this place of being in tune with yourself and knowing your purpose and your calling as a separate, created individual, as an independent person, created not by just a mother and a father, but created by something a lot bigger than that. You owe it to yourself to become in tune with that, whatever it is, and then to start to judge and to determine, does this sibling even resonate with who I am and what I'm called to do in this life? Does this brother or sister even make sense being in my life, or is it always just drama? Is it them trying to control me? Is it them trying to tell me I have to be a certain way? Is it them trying to tell me I have to fit in? Because what if the one who really created you doesn't want you to fit in with them? Have you considered that? And some of you who are Christians might say, well, Kevin, we're always supposed to honor our family, brothers and sisters, moms and dads. Really? What scripture are you referring to? Because the Bible that I've read pulled Abraham out of his family. When God said, I have plans for you, Abraham, but you can't stay with your mom, dad, brother, and sister, because as long as you're with your mom, dad, brother, and sister, you're under their authority. God said, Abraham, I want to put you under my authority as an individual, separate from them. And by the way, I'll make you the father of many nations. If you come with me, I have a lot bigger of a purpose for you than your mom and your dad and your brother and sister ever could imagine. Because they have no purpose for you. Your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters have no purpose for you according to what you're called to do. Their only purpose for you is what they want. But wait, it gets worse than that. For those of you who want to know just how far your toxic narcissistic siblings can go, those who believe that you have to stay together and there has to be an order and there has to be a hierarchy, how far can they go? Well, the story of Cain and Abel tells us Cain killed his brother Abel. Why? Because Abel was on a different path. Abel discovered something, that being good and being upright is the best option for him. And Cain said, I don't like that very much, because there's a chance you're going to get farther than me. And so Cain then killed him. Now, a lot of you might be saying, Kevin, I don't think my family would kill me. Well, listen, if they're bad-mouthing you, smearing your name, calling you names, cussing you out, they're killing you. In the New Testament of the Bible, Jesus says, you have heard, thou shalt not murder, but I tell you, anybody who says to his brother Rakah, which is a very derogatory put down of that time, Jesus said that person is guilty of murder in their heart. Listen, I know you don't want to hear this, and you may need to grab a glass of whiskey to hear this, but those of you who have toxic family members, brothers and sisters, moms, dads who cuss you out, put you down, yell, scream, shout at you, they have murder in their hearts. The only difference between them actually physically killing you and them just calling you names is their own cowardice. They're afraid of going to jail, right? Because they'd be put before a court and asked, why'd you kill your own sibling? And they'd be forced to have an answer. Well, I don't know, I was just jealous because they're different than me. And I don't like that. They tried to get away from me. That's why I killed them. They tried to be something. They tried to make something of themselves. They thought that God loved them more than us, so we killed them. I mean, come on. This is the reality of a lot of toxic family dynamics and your toxic siblings. As you've been brought up in an environment where you've been forced into the situation, no choice of your own, but to get along with these people who have their own agendas and their own ideas of how life should be and where you should fit in it. But as I said before, the purpose of this message is to get you to a different mindset, because you do have a choice as an adult. You do not have to have a relationship with your siblings. You do not have to call your brothers and sisters family. You do not have to make yourself be involved with these people. And one of the most important decisions that you can make in your life is to decide right now whether or not you even like your siblings. And what I mean when I say whether or not you like them is, do you want to be like them? Do you want to be together with them? Are they good enough to call your family? When I say good enough, I'm not talking about you being better than them. I'm talking about, are they supportive of you? Do they love you? Are they encouraging you? Are they helping you to fulfill your dreams and your ambitions? Are they on your side? Do they love you? That's what I mean when I say, are they good enough for you to call family? Because what's the role of family in your life anyways? Well, as a child, you have no choice as to what you call family. But as you become older, you get to call family the people who are supportive of you. How do we know this? Some of you are saying, Kevin, where are you getting this nonsense from, Kevin? Huh? Where are you getting this nonsense from? What I'm talking about is in the New Testament of the Bible, where Jesus is with his disciples in a church or synagogue or a temple, as they called it back in the day, and he's teaching, he's doing his thing. And they attempted to stop him. Somebody ran into the temple to say, Jesus, your mom and your brother are outside of the temple and they wish to speak with you. So Jesus, why don't you do the right thing and stop what you're doing and go talk to your mother and brother? After all, that's your mom and your brother. Do any of you know the scripture? Do you know what Jesus said? I challenge you. Write it down in the comment section down below. Debate me on this. Jesus said, who is my mother and who are my brothers? Who are these people that you're talking about? And what Jesus did was amazing. He pointed to his disciples, who, by the way, are people he chose. Not the people he was born with and had no choice, but the people he chose. He looked at them, he pointed at them, and he said, these people are my mother. These people are my brother. These people are my father. These people are my sister. These people are my family. Now, you won't hear a lot of Christian pastors talking about this in terms of family. Sometimes they try to. But one of the things they won't tell you is that it's very hard to grab onto a new family, a family of complete love and encouragement, a family of discipleship, a family of togetherness. It's very hard to grab onto that if you're still holding on to a family of hierarchy. I'm going to say that again. It's very difficult to grab on to a new family of any kind, a family of encouragement, a family of support, a family of love, if you're still holding on to a family of hierarchy. And a lot of you who are stuck with your toxic brothers and sisters and moms and dads are stuck in a family of hierarchy, a family of narcissistic hierarchy, which is built off of control. It's not built off of what God wants for you. It's not built off of your future. It's not built off of what's good for you. It's not built off of growing together. It's a family that's built off of hierarchy. And whether they say they're Christian or not, by the way, I would say this: a family that is built off of hierarchy is not a family of God. Because a family of God puts God as the highest part of the hierarchy. And if God's the highest part of the hierarchy, then as we know, God oftentimes picks the weakest and the lowest of the low to do the best things in life. How many of you are familiar with scriptures? How many of you know that God chose the lowest of the low, the lowest of the ones able to articulate words, the lowest and the weakest of those who, in comparison to their toxic brothers and sisters, who are violent and hostile and narcissistic and able to lie and cheat and gaslight, God didn't choose them. God chose the ones who were quiet, the ones who were more submissive, the ones who showed that they were meek. That's what God looks for. That's what God elevates into doing amazing things in this life. Whatever it is that God has called upon your life, whatever it is that you are passionate about, whatever it is that you are driven towards, when you force a relationship with narcissistic brothers and sisters, there will always be a challenge. They will always combat that. Why? Because they're going to criticize that. They're always going to tell you you're stupid. They're always going to tell you that you're weird. They're always going to tell you that you're odd. They're always going to make you feel like you are inadequate. It's a threat to your independence. It's not that what you're doing is weird. It's not that you're not talented. It's not that you're not gifted. It's not that you're not good looking. It's that to a narcissistic family dynamic, these things threaten their control, so they're going to squash it. Anything that threatens to take you from them, anything that threatens them with your independence needs to be snuffed out. So as you are trying to hang on to a relationship with toxic siblings, you will never fully reach what God has for you. You'll never fully reach your potential because they will constantly battle that. Why? Because they're not for you in your independence. They're not for you in your success. They're not for you in whatever God has for you. They're for them. So that's the number one danger. The second danger is that it keeps you locked in a relationship that perhaps you've outgrown. You're locked in to this dynamic. You're locked in to this idea that this is as far as you can go. You're not even allowing yourself to grow at that point. You are hearing your passions and your interests calling you, but you're turning that off, saying, nope, I'm locked in. I can't do that because of this. I can't pursue those things because I need to be here. Suddenly you become terrified. You become terrified of what's out there. You become terrified of the possibilities. You become terrified of what you can possibly do because you're locked in to appeasing these people. You're stuck. You're locked in. You're now not only limiting yourself, but you're limiting God and what God can do for you. You're limiting. Essentially, I'm going to put it to you harshly. You are making your God this family. Your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, you are making them your God. You're saying that these people are more important than God is. Now, I know some of you right now watching this message, God has called you out many times. God has put a purpose in your life. God has given you a plan. God has given you a passion, and you know it, but you're afraid of it. Why are you afraid of it, by the way? Why are you afraid? Why would anybody be afraid of a plan, a vision that God has given them? And even if you don't believe in God, you can just say, I've had a plan, I've had a vision, but I'm afraid. What is this fear? What's your fear? What's really holding you back from doing the things that are on your heart? Is it because of you? No. Is it because it's so scary out there? No. What you're really afraid of is them. You have the voice of your brothers and your sisters and your family dynamic, your toxic family members. You have the voice of them saying, you can't do that. Your true fear in life. Are you ready? Your true fear in this life is of what these people who you think you have to call family will say. I know this is true. It's my story as well. The only thing that holds me back from being everything that I'm called to be with the royal we and helping you, the only thing that has held me back, what will they say? Who are they? And I can make up any excuse. Well, maybe if somebody watching this video might complain and bitch and moan that I'm having a cigar, that I'm having some whiskey. Is that really what scares me? No. That's just a front. What really scares me is the voice of the siblings. That's what scares me. The position given to me by my dad, mom, brothers, and sisters. I have to be this way. I have to be this. I have to be involved in this family. That, the have-tos, that's what stops me. And that's what's stopping many of you. So then, take a moment to reflect. Are the relationships with your siblings, the people you call family, are they supportive of you or are they not? Are they relationships that are good? Are they relationships that are encouraging your growth in this life or are they stopping you? Have they always stopped you? Is the relationship with your siblings, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, is it a relationship that has always haunted you and stopped you and caused you to pause in your growth? Everything that you've tried to achieve in this life, everything that you've wanted to do in this life, did you stop short? Why? Because the voice haunting you from your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters says, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that. That's not what this family is about. If that's you, what are you doing? You're wasting your life away. At the end of this life, you will not answer to your mom, your dad, your brother, and sister. Now, will you? Mm-mm. How many of you believe that when you die, You're going to be face to face with your creator. You're not going to be face to face with your mommy, not face to face with your brother, not face to face with your sister or your father. None of that stuff. You're going to be face to face with your creator. And you're going to be asked, and you're going to be judged based on what you did with the gifts that you were given. Gifts given to you by whom, by the way? By your mom? What gifts did your mom give you? Your mom didn't give you gifts and talents. Your mom, your dad, your brother, and sister, they gave you provisions and a lot of toxic negativity. But the one who gave you gifts and talents, the one who gave you a dream and ambition, goals in this life, that's the one you're going to answer to. So it's up to you right now to choose what's going to be the best relationships that are going to allow you to exercise the gifts to allow you to answer your calling in this life. This is your choice, and your choice is now, and the choice is yours. This is not a choice that I can help you with necessarily. I mean, I can help guide you. I can help give you some insights from my own personal experience, but this is your choice. See, and this is the difference, by the way, between me and your brothers and your sisters, because many of you have brothers and sisters that tell you you have no choice, you have to do this. Consider me that brother that should be in your life, that says this is your choice. And I'm not telling you that this is your choice to choose what I want for you. I'm telling you this is your choice because I want you to have what's for you. Now then, as I said before, if you're struggling and you want to talk about this, I'm here. I'm available for you down in the description box below this video. You can expand that description box right below the video. Schedule some one-on-one time with me. Let's chat. I'm here. I'm available for you. If you want to have some whiskey, we can have some whiskey. I'm okay with that. Let's talk. I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We. Before I do leave, if you're brand new to The Royal We, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future Royal We content. Like this video, share it with somebody who might need to see it. Maybe this video isn't just for you, it's for other people that you know as well. Check out one of these videos recommended by the YouTube algorithm as well, because it knows what you're watching and it's making good recommendations for you. All right? I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We. Subscribe now.